Yo, what's up? Here's a review for episode 7 of She-Hulk Attorney at Law. Now, for me, man, episode is going to be full of spoilers, and I just gotta say, I really enjoyed a lot of what we went here with this episode. This episode is called The Retreat, and with this one, we get Jen, who's been going on a dates with the guy who we met in the last episode named Josh. The dates kind of start off slow and just, them getting to know each other, but not even really getting to kiss or anything, mostly shaking hands at the beginning and just having that kind of nerdy, very slow style date, which I enjoyed, just the kind of going on with it. Even with her getting ready for the date, I thought was pretty fun. They had this really nice visual scenes where, you're taking her walking through her living room and getting ready, but you see her in little different pieces like, what do you mean? Just like different visual pieces of her going through it and stuff like that. I really enjoyed a lot of that with this whole beginning of the date and stuff like that. And then it finally leads up to them, getting together and getting a deed going on, and Josh just disappears on her. So she's trying to figure out where he's at and stuff like that. And that leads them to go to Blonsky, where they're having this retreat, and she's going there to check his inhibitor and make sure it's working, what the parole officer and stuff. And that leads her to figuring out this retreat, and that it's all about him helping these D-list supervillains and what's going on with them. And just to say, at the beginning, like I said, I really like the date prospects of this stuff. I like where they were going with Josh towards the beginning. I really enjoyed just, how they were using her character and just her finally finding somebody who she's connecting with as Jen, but not just She-Hulk. I thought that was really good. Some of the CG towards this beginning wasn't working for me, especially when she's in that office. It's very, very hit and miss. There was one part where you're in between her, under the desk, kind of like over her legs, where she's checking her phone. The CG was really wonky there. But once you get to the retreat, I thought that things looked a lot better for a lot of the characters, and just the story itself started to really pick up. A lot of people are going to be, mad that Daredevil isn't in this episode, but I do think what they did here was really fun, especially with the fact that you're introducing these new characters, and a matador type guy. You got this other guy who's a man bull, and they just really had a lot of fun with these D-list supervillains, and especially with Blonsky taking them through this AA type of retreat meeting, and with She-Hulk trying to figure out, what's going to go on here. Do she even want to be there and stuff like that? She heard they mess up her car, so she has to wait. She can't find a signal to even call somebody, even especially with Josh. And I enjoyed the visual aspects of that, where the no signal bars over her head the whole time. That was really, really fun to see. And then just once you get the retreat going and stuff like that, she sees a guy who, one of the what do they call themselves? The wrecking crew. One of the guys there is trying to change his ways and not be a supervillain anymore. And you get him interacting with She-Hulk. She's trying to beat the shit out of him till the rest of the guys stop them and stuff like that. And just breaking down her character through this episode and how she feels about herself, but also the relationship that she's in, and just what they're doing with Josh and how they use her character throughout this story. Just, bringing it all together, getting these villains to help She-Hulk figure herself out, especially as Jen Walters. And I really enjoyed that in this episode. Yes, all the jokes didn't hit, and it wasn't as funny as you would want a show like this to be, but I think it did a good job for what it was doing. And I laughed, got a little chuckles here and there and stuff like that, and just loved it visually, loved it character-wise, and just a lot of what they're doing. It ends with Jen just figuring things out, deleting Josh's number and having her little farewell with the guys, and that was pretty fun. And then you also go into the very end of the episode, where you get a flashback to what Josh was doing after him and She-Hulk did the little smash thing, and that Josh is the one who probably took She-Hulk's blood now, and now we got to figure out what's going to go on after that. I'm very, very interested to see how they progress this story now that, somebody has She-Hulk's blood. Is what's going on? Is it the wrecking crew? Is it Titania? Is it the leader? Does this lead on to Captain America and the New World Order? How does this story evolve, especially with now 2 episodes left, Daredevil's coming, and I'm very, very interested to see where they go here. I thought they played up with Josh very well, the nice, sweet guy who's getting this lady who's having her issues, but he's getting her into bed. I think, it was a little bit predictable, but it was also fun to see, and I thought that they did it very, very well. So yeah, that was fun. I thought Blonsky was fun. I thought everybody at the AA meeting was fun to watch. Even the porcupine guy or the vampire one. They use the guy from the Wrecking Crew pretty well here as well. And just a really fun episode. And I'm excited to see where we go with these last two episodes. For me, man, I would rate this at a 3.75 out of 5 stars. Like I said, I enjoyed it better than I did the previous two episodes, and I think this is a great setup for the penultimate and the finale episode. That's going to be, I think, really fun. They got a lot of stuff coming, and whether or not we're going to see Incredible Hulk again, or Daredevil's coming up, so hopefully we get to see him soon. But for me, I'm out of here. See you next review. Peace.